Hey, so good morning. It's Karen with Veronica's Dreams Coaching and Tarot. Yeah, I know. I'm not matchy matchy today. I'm always matchy matchy, but not today. Blue and coral and um so today I'm going to do something a little different. Yeah, I was thinking a hot second there. I went away, far away. Um I'm going to do a little different. I'm going to do three cards for the coming week because this is Sunday and what's coming in for the next week. That's what we're taking a look at. I'm going to just do a three card energy, but I do want to still take a look at what we don't see and what to watch for. Advice, and if there's any challenges or, what strengths to hang on to this week, and maybe an outcome, like how is it all, where's it all leading? Not necessarily outcome. That word outcome is so tough because it's really just, the next step. So let's see. Using Erotic Tarot, I do personal readings. Link to my websites below. Let's take a second. What do we need to know for the upcoming week? What do we need to know? Really? I was really happy for a second, and then I got a little bit, and then I was happy again. So I would say like it'll be an up and down week. This card kind of flew out. Nine of Pentacles. I've seen that a couple different times today. So let's take a look, guys. Three cards for the coming week. Ace of Swords. Well, that's good. It's always good to have the clarity. Eight of Pentacles. And the Star. That's nice. What we don't see is Six of Wands. What to watch for and look for. The Empress. Challenge. Ten of Pentacles. Where does this all read? Well, that's the Ten of Swords. What will be unexpected this week? Six of Pentacles and advice and strength. Oops. That's challenge. Strength. I didn't do one. Okay. We've got the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles. So there is something to be said for that energy. The King of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. Gosh, I feel like we've had this, but maybe not. I've seen it maybe in other readings. But anyway, the King of Cups. So I feel like this has to do with somebody for sure. It's really weird because the outcome is the Ten of Swords, but overall the reading is not a negative reading by any means. I do feel like this might be someone. Um, King of Cups could be a feeling, love, appreciation, but also kind of going with the flow a little bit. And it could be that, going with the flow. This is unexpected. I'll put that at the top. So the overall energies for the week are Ace of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, and the Star. I feel like there might be some clarity on something that you're working on. It could be something you're healing from, so this could go either way. Um, because the Eight of Pentacles, if this King of Cups is somebody that it could be about healing from that. It could be about healing from anything, but usually only when I see this in relationships. So I think of the Eight of Pentacles as healing, but it is also a learning card, right? Something that we've focused on, whether it's healing or a project, it doesn't really matter. But we are going to get some clarity on that. So whatever we've been focused on, recent past, there'll be something that comes to light from that. And I think what that does is gives us hope. So if it was a project at work, maybe you're going to get some clarity on it and it's going to start moving forward, or something happens though where that this clarity of this thing is giving you that hope. And that the Star, I mean, really that's a good energy for the week. It really is. I mean, to have that, like the last card, I always feel like that gives me a lot of hope, because that means that when I read the tarot, it's always, left to right and whatever. however these are, they're backwards. Um, so I do feel like, you're going to have that, the ending, the overall energies will actually be hopeful. So there'll be an energy of hope, and that's really nice. I mean, I like that. So that's the energies coming in. What you don't see is the Six of Wands. Um, I feel like this is kind of somebody recognizing you, maybe in what you do, who you are, your strengths, if it's at work, if it's at home, just, but you're not seeing it. So someone is like going, yeah, you know what, that's a pretty cool person over there. This is the things that they do that are good, but they're not voicing it yet. It's not, you don't know about it. And I honestly don't think you'll know about it, at least this week. It doesn't feel that way to me. I do feel like there's some good energies here, though. So, what to watch for is the Empress, and that is, I don't know if this is a person because your strength is the Queen of Pentacles, and a lot of times I see these as pretty, and that nine of Pentacles that kept popping out. So, or didn't, yeah, I saw it like 3 times as I was shuffling. Um, these are all similar energies, and that is, kind of motherly, but taking care of business more importantly. And when I see that, I say, taking the Queen of Pentacles takes care of her home. She's just a very stable person, but she has nice things, but she doesn't have necessarily expensive things. She takes care of them. She takes care of her family. She takes care of the things around her, and so does the Empress. And I feel like that energy is really important today. So this is something to look for. Look for that. I don't think it's somebody. I think it's in you, and that's why this is coming out as a strength, the Queen of Pentacles. So there's something that says you need to keep nurturing whatever this is that you're working on. I think there'll be a point where it feels like something's not going to happen, and that's why these cards are coming up, because it's odd too to me that the Ten of Pentacles is a challenge. And I don't think the challenge is being stable or anything like that. I think it's the direction you're headed is the challenge. I feel like you might not know exactly where this is supposed to be going, or what's really supposed to be happening here. So when I see that, I go, that's a challenge. Like, we don't know where we're headed. It's like this. I don't know. Let me know if this resonates, but I just feel like there's this a lot of work going into this, and you're collecting everything, and you're doing all the right things, but it just feels like, and and that's the way it feels. So what is unexpected is the Six of Pentacles, and I feel like that's just like, I mean, and to a certain degree, I think you're going to. This feels like unexpectedly someone comes in, or a group comes in. It could be someone or multiples, where you feel like there is a really give and take here, where you're not just the one giving anymore, where you're getting back as well. I feel like that's going to be an unexpected feeling this week, because I feel like maybe there's been some place where you felt like you've given, but you're not getting, and that switches. So, or the other way around, even if it's been a situation where you've taken and haven't given, then you'll start giving, and that could also be the energies of these two, where you have to give back, to this. But I get the feeling it's more the other way, but it could definitely be, you giving more, whatever. It's going to be more even, whatever way it's supposed to be. The Ten of Swords is where this is all leading, and this bothers me because the Ten of Swords, is the complete and total end of something. And that's always hard to me, because I look at it as, for me personally, when I get this card in a reading, I'm like, oh my God, it's completely over. And I have to remember too, and I think it's good to keep in mind that, yeah, sometimes things are completely over, and I do need to know more about this 10, because I just don't like having a negative card, because it's not necessarily negative, right? Because sometimes there is things that need to end, And sometimes the ending isn't a positive thing anyway, like it's the ending of a rough time or the ending of, you know, something. So just so. Okay. I had to I had to clarify it because okay, I mean I had to clarify the clarifying because the Ten of Swords says there's an ending. Well, I'm like, okay, clarify it, and we've got the Nine of Cups, Two of Cups, Four of Wands, which to me is a relationship, a good relationship. Is that telling me that the relationship is ending, you know, whatever this is, or is something starting? And I said, is something starting? And I got the Fool, which absolutely, right? That mean that clarifies that as a yes card and as it's a new beginning. So there is something that is ending that's going to allow you to have a new beginning. But you know, I may be really open minded here too. We have got the Six of Swords, and this is another reason why we've got the Six of Swords as our advice. Just keep heading for that sunrise. You know, if there's anything that isn't good, it's okay to move into something good. But I think it's the advice, more importantly, is recognizing the good and move towards that. Like sometimes we don't have to completely move away from something or get rid of something or end something, but sometimes it's more just about, you know, looking, heading more towards the positive instead of focusing on what's hard, focus on what's good. And then when we do that, we're automatically drawn into that, if that makes sense. When we focus on the bad, we stay there, you know, we focus on it. I like this, and I'm over curious, but because that's interesting to me, and I always worry like when I get the so as a reader, and I'm a very honest person. I don't try to cover up my feelings if I'm stuck on a card or I don't. I mean, some readers absolutely don't get stuck on cards, but sometimes they just talk their way through them, and that's fine, right? I do. Sometimes I have to, but I don't believe that every time like these cards make because the cards are real. Like I believe in that Ten of Swords, but I don't understand it, and sometimes it's just because I have a block or the situation I'm not really supposed to talk about it, and I think sometimes messages that do come through are stopped. And there's a big I have a big belief, and I'm real about this belief, is that, and I have it at one of the cards that says, you know, you're not supposed to know. Sometimes we're not supposed to know the answer. Sometimes we're not supposed to know the outcome. Sometimes we are just not supposed to know. And when that happens, it's because if we know we're going to change the outcome, if that makes sense. So I do believe that sometimes we are blocked from an answer because we're supposed to go through what it is we're supposed to go through. So, um, example, let's say we got a broken heart. It's the easiest one to come up with. So we have a broken heart and we're healing and we want to know the outcome of the relationship. Well, if we know the outcome of the relationship, then we don't go through the process of healing as as we would if we didn't know the outcome. So in other words, let's say whatever the process, okay, the relationship's going to come back around. So then you don't worry as much, or you don't, you know, and I don't mean worry, but like process those feelings that you feel like, or you don't process the situation, and then you actually are losing out on life in general because that's part of it. And it's hard because I'm, you know, I'm a reader and I believe in the cards. immensely, but sometimes I feel like the cards say, hey, you're not supposed to know everything. And I feel like, when we see a 10 of swords and then you clarify it with really good cards, does that mean something really good's coming to an end? I don't think so, because that's why I asked, is this a beginning? And this is what's coming out of the 10 of swords. So, because the 10 of swords leads to ace of swords, right? And so we're coming back. I think it's like this. I think this week, honestly, is going to be a real healing week, because of the Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Empress, and Queen of Pentacles. Those cards tell me in general that we're really going to heal this week. I hope that wasn't, too much info, but I think it's important to be upfront and honest. I want to be real, and I feel like I can. I watch a lot of channels. I always have, like, even before I started doing readings on YouTube, because I learn from other readers as well. I like to see, how they do it. And I've talked about that. I do. And some readers are really good and they're really honest and they're really out front. But I tell you what, there is more that aren't, on YouTube anyway. There's a lot of good readers, but there's a lot of readers that are doing it just that, I care about the outcomes. I care about it. I do. I truly do. And probably too much. But I think it's important. And I'm going to always try to be honest and real. And the one thing I've learned, and this is probably too much information, but the one thing I've learned about in business, and I was a software support, software trainer in business, is a large software packages. And I would be out there and a business analyst. And basically, I always believed that when I didn't have an answer, there was no way I could talk through it and pretend like I did, because I was only hurting the people I was teaching. It's more important to say, I don't know that answer. And a lot of people can't do that because of their ego. And I do have an ego, but I found that actually by being honest, it strokes my ego even more because people appreciate it even more. And when you're honest about not knowing something or being stuck, or I feel like that being real is the key here. And to admit it, but then, in some cases you got to find the answer, and in some cases you just do. And that's how people build trust. And when you're honest, people trust you. And when people trust you, you build real relationships. Business otherwise, it doesn't matter. I feel like trust is huge. So, yeah, there you have a little bit about, why I read the way I do and why I am not afraid to say, I don't know. Um, but again, there's sometimes messages come in completely clear and sometimes they're not so clear. And I'm human and I'm not afraid to admit that. So, um, and for those regular, I will never try to cover myself up. I will, I mean, I'm sure I have, I'm human too, but overall, no. I will be straight up and honest with you. So, anyway, take care. Have a beautiful day. I hope that wasn't too much. Anyway, I appreciate you all. Thanks.